Then I started thinking about when Admiral Byrd was telling us in his diary that there was an inner earth and it was something different about the Arctic Circle. So then I was thinking, sure enough, people cannot live in inner earth and survive. Literally. I ain't even playing with y'all. So then I asked myself, well, how deep do a cave have to be for an entire civilization of people or beings, Tupac, whoever down there, to be living and we don't notice it? I done found out some stuff. And allegedly it's through cave systems.
Hello everybody, I am Cerebral and I am back with some more sci-fi and some things that might actually be true. A lot of you liked the last video that I did giving my opinion about a video with a woman stating that you can't get to the bottom of the ocean because the ocean goes into outer space. And some of you wanted me to talk more about these topics, conspiracy theories, things that have to do with aliens, the inner earth, all types of things that's considered to be supernatural or science fiction to some people. So as you can see, today I'm talking about the ocean and the inner earth. I already know a little bit about the theories about the inner earth, the hollow earth, okay, and creatures that we've never seen in the ocean, people or aliens allegedly hiding within our ocean. So before I show this video, let's go back to the first video I showed, okay, before we get into this.
Y'all, I am freaking out right now. There's a lot of unexplained things going on in the ocean right now. Hold on real quick. I do not trust them. Just watch this real quick for me.
You get to Mars by going through the ocean. You can't get to the bottom of the ocean because outer space is the ocean.
Now, what she just said just blew my mind. Now, there's this situation called the firmament. So we know that water is all around us. And it is said that this dome divided the sea into upper and lower sections. You can't cancel this out because they still haven't discovered 80% of the sea. Early civilizations believed that the ocean and the stars above were linked. I mean, just look. Mayan, Norse, Hindu, Hebrew, all of them. Now, we already know what spacesuits look like, but they look exactly like sea suits. I know once in your life you've heard of the Bermuda Triangle. Planes and people going missing in the ocean. There are black holes in the ocean. And I just know once in your life you've heard about sea monsters. When you see a comet, it looks like a boat soaring through water. What if these unexplained species in the ocean are actually aliens? If y'all have ever watched this movie Underwater, they went too deep and found the creatures that don't even look like it's supposed to be from this earth. Or could it have just been a creature from space? Now, you can say what you want, but I bet you we are not the only beings, only species, only creatures that are in this universe. It's just ironic that when they return to Earth, they're on water. I mean, I know I'm not tripping. And I know y'all heard of mermaids. So many unexplained things in the ocean. They're making more discoveries in space. Not really putting too much money or caring about what's going on the planet. Why? Because this sea stuff might have a lot of connections to space. And they not telling us. Y'all be safe, and I know I'm not the only person who feel this way.
Okay, so listen, I showed this video clip just the other week, okay? So she talked about it, the ocean, the mystery of the ocean, things being down in the ocean. And a lot of things she said is very possible. Like I said before, there have been many reports of people seeing aliens, UFOs coming from in the ocean. A lot of things, anything is possible. So now let's jump into it. I'm going to share some video clips with people talking about the real reason, well, NASA might be trying to go in outer space instead of messing with the ocean. Also, things going on within the inner earth. Just sit back and let's look at these video clips real quick.
This is the real reason we stopped exploring the ocean.
This is why NASA stopped exploring the oceans.
Explain it to me, brother man.
NASA first began exploring the deep sea in 1958, but completely stopped in 2014 for some unknown reason. They then started putting all of their efforts towards space exploration and trying to get us off this planet. People obviously began wondering as to why they made the sudden change, but no one had any clue. Well, that was until just a few days ago when a head engineer at NASA was fired and he decided to speak out about this. The man stated that despite the popular belief that only 5% of our ocean is explored, NASA in reality had 68% of our ocean mapped out. But this is when they stumbled upon something unusual. They have found an enormous cave opening near a region of Hawaii, which they have never seen before. The cave eventually led them to a ravine that was completely submerged underwater, and it was nearly 50% deeper than the Mariana Trench. NASA then developed submarines that were capable of submerging that deep, and they made their way down. On their way down, they started seeing many strange creatures which exist nowhere else on Earth. Just 30 minutes later, this is when they saw yet another massive cave. When the submarine pointed its flashlights inside the cave, a massive eye was staring directly into their souls.
Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. No.
The size of a house, as the scientists stated, and they were all horrified. They immediately went back to the surface in fear. The engineer also shared some photos of this encounter. If you want to see it, comment view image.
Listen. I'm not going to say this didn't happen. Now, you're going to have to research a little bit more to see, is there a NASA scientist who said this is what went down. But I totally can believe it. There are things going on in the ocean we can't imagine. Now, they told the public that only like 1 to 5% of the ocean has been explored. He said in this video that it's actually like 60-something% they've actually explored, but they don't want to explore anymore after seeing an eye the size of a house, a creature like you see right there. And some people were in the comment section saying they found the Leviathan or something, Leviathan or something like that. Apparently this is some ancient creature, even described in the Bible. I don't know for sure, that lies within the deep within the ocean. And people are saying, if these creatures is down in the ocean and are humongous, why come they never come up to the surface? Okay, I've heard about people saying, oh, things are chained. They're chained until the great day of judgment when God decides to get rid of us again. These things are going to be released on the earth and they're going to come out and get us all. I don't fully believe that at all. But I did say anything is possible. Anything is possible. I have no reason on earth not to believe something that looks like that cannot be down in the deepest parts of the ocean. Remember that movie called Deep Rising? Okay, so let's see more about this Leviathan or Leviathan. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's some creature that is in the ocean. Okay, Leviathan or Leviathan or something like that.
Did you know that the Bible reveals that in the beginning there were 2 Leviathans, but God had to eliminate one? The Bible says that God created them on the 5th day, and they lived in the depths for a long time. However, it is mentioned that when God parted the sea to protect the people of Israel, he destroyed several sea beasts, including one of the Leviathans. It is said that he crushed the heads of the Leviathan and gave it as food to those wandering in the desert. Additionally, the book mentions that on the final day, God will finish off another Leviathan. In nature, God created species in pairs, like bull and cow, rooster and hen. So it is very possible that there was a male and a female Leviathan, but one was eliminated to prevent their reproduction. What do you think would have happened if God had left both Leviathans alive?
Okay, so that's what they supposedly look like. If anything, doesn't it look like a dragon, like off the movies? Leviathan. I have never in my life heard of this being in the Bible until I saw these videos, but I haven't read the whole Bible, so I can't say that's not true. Okay, and it said in this video again, when the end of the world comes again, that the Leviathan is going to come out. People have been saying the end is coming since I've been born. No one knows when the so-called end comes, okay? There are people who have said the end has happened 4 times on Earth. We see global warming happening. The weather is changing. Birds falling from the sky. Cows fainting and passing away. Hardly any bees being made. The world is breaking down. People say it's global warming. People say it's the natural cycle. People say it's spiritual. No one knows until it actually happens, but there are a lot of people, they say, you'll see this Leviathan, you'll see it again when it's time, and we shall see. If something like this was to come out of the ocean and then start walking on land up over here and stuff, oh my God, I did hear the story where they said when the end comes, people are going to have heart attacks with the things they're seeing. Imagine seeing something like this coming up out of the ocean, walking on land or something, yeah, people would be having heart attacks. Absolutely. And you know what else? I couldn't help but think of the movie that I love so much. It's called Rain of Fire. If you haven't seen this movie, see this movie. Rain of Fire. I'm going to ruin it just a little bit. This was in England. He was a little boy and they were drilling, just like that movie when they were drilling and went too deep in the ocean. They were drilling and uncovered the dragon. You can see it right on the photo. And it basically took out humanity. Only a sprinkle of humanity is left on the planet. And now you live in the reign of fire. So it's a really good movie. I don't want to spoil it completely for you. It's so good. But when I saw the Leviathan, I immediately thought of this film right here. Check out this movie. So let's see some more. Okay, so far, I showed the video again. They're saying you can't get to the bottom of the ocean because it goes into outer space and that the aliens and the unknown species in the ocean came from outer space. Okay. Also, the video I just showed, they said NASA no longer wants to explore the ocean because they saw an eye the size of a house, and people are saying it's the Leviathan down there and all types of stuff. And so things in the ocean. So let's see a little bit more.
Scientists discovered that another ocean has been underneath the Earth's core this entire time, and it's 3 times bigger. Reading this reminds me of 2 things: inner Earth, and that the ocean is actually space. And this is actually kind of shown in the movie Journey to the Center of the Earth. Check this out.
Okay, they fell, something opened in the earth and they fell. They said we're still falling, and they fell into an ocean. And I shared with you, and he's sharing with you, they did discover an ocean within the inner earth, bigger than all of our oceans. That is a fact. This is real.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the center of the earth.
Look at that. Look at that.
They literally be showing us this stuff in movies. And the center of the earth would be Earth's core. And they also even speak on Hollow Earth or Inner Earth in the movie Kong vs. Godzilla, where there's all types of mythical creatures like Godzilla and Kong and flying dragons and all that other stuff. And yes, I personally do believe there are things like that that exist inside of our Earth, beneath us. It's so many things about this realm that we don't know about, but we only see it in movies. And movies is how they tell the truth without actually telling the truth. I definitely feel like
they call it science fiction. Again, science fiction. Is it really fiction all the time? You know the truth, some of you.
more things like this will be discovered, actually talked about and presented to us. And when it does, it's going to be a whole new world for real. And they say that flowers are blooming in Antarctica, so we're going to see how this goes. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this in the comments.
I have been told by a man who worked for the Defense Intelligence Agency for 23 years that the National Science Foundation of the United States has scientists that are meeting and collaborating with extraterrestrials in Antarctica in this deep underground installation. Something that one of the military people said to me. The walls had hieroglyphs, but the walls did not join with the ceiling. He said, we can only conclude that we are dealing with technology that is neutralizing gravity. Advanced beings could deliberately have isolated Antarctica under deep ice and snow like a partition from the rest of the world.
Yeah, but it's cold as hell over there. It's cold. But obviously they can withstand it.
As a terraforming strategy to cohabit on Earth while ensuring that the alien base at the South Pole would be hidden.
So most of us have heard about the Antarctic wall, the ice wall. But let's talk about why the Antarctic Treaty was signed by all 12 countries, which made exploration impossible for people, such as individuals like Admiral Byrd and more. The Antarctic Treaty was signed by all 12 countries because of Admiral Byrd. Admiral Byrd went on a mission in Antarctica, and he found more land beyond the ice wall, and a couple other things that was hidden from the public. Extraterrestrials. Admiral Byrd got to do an interview on what he saw and what he found in Antarctica. And after the interview, Byrd passed away. And then 2 years after that, the Antarctic Treaty was signed. That's definitely not a coincidence. Me and you using common sense, we should know that he had to have seen something down there that the public was not ready for. Now let's connect one of these dots real quick. Y'all remember King Kong versus Godzilla? What did they have in that movie? So Admiral Byrd was right.
I've spoken about Admiral Byrd before. Okay, the man who said he saw land beyond the poles. And I said before how people who believe in flat earth believe there are more continents beyond what they tell us. Anything's possible again. And it's interesting how they have the treaty. Now, I researched it and they said they're just trying to protect Antarctica because they don't want people messing up the environment. So that's why the countries have this thing where you can only go so far. You can only do so much on Antarctica. They are protecting it, is what they're saying. And that makes perfect sense. But could they be hiding that there is intelligent life? Okay, advanced life that lives over there. And they don't want to mess with them because they have better technology than what we have, a whole civilization.
Friends, do y'all want to hear a quick story time about how I was digging around and going down rabbit holes and now I'm kind of scared? So I'm going to get y'all scared too. So y'all remember we was talking about inner earth and caves and like lizard people and all that stuff? Baby, I might have found a little bit of evidence. So in this book called The Edadorpa, it talks about this man who gets kidnapped and he's taken into inner earth by these beings somewhere in Kentucky, okay? So this man only refers to himself as I am the man, as in I am the man who did it, who told everything. He gives this manuscript to this dude named Llewellyn and he tells him don't publish this for 30 years. Don't even open it, don't read it for 30 years. And then once 30 years go by, baby, do what you got to do with the paper. Now I would have failed immediately because I would have opened it as soon as he left. I would have read it, then I would have had to call my mama and be like, girl, you ain't gonna believe this. Well, the book tells about this incident where this man was going to expose this secret society, but then he ends up being locked up, out of jail, got locked up again, and then he gets kidnapped and they fake his going on to glory so that no one's looking for him, and he really was kidnapped by aliens. Well, friends, this is William Morgan. This is a man from New York that it actually happened to in 1826. Well, apparently he was like a big dog on campus and he was a Royal Arch Mason, so he was going to tell everything about masonry and publish a book on it, and I think it's actually a book out there on it called Illustrations of Masonry. So before he published the book, he actually gets locked up in jail, where the publishing company come and get him out of jail, and child, they burnt the publishing company down to the ground. So then they lock him up again for owing $2. After that, the Masons apparently pulled up on him, beat him up, and threw him in the back of a horse and a buggy. Child, once they got him in the back of the horse and buggy, they drove him on down to Kentucky where he ain't know where he was at. And then they made him hike for like 3 days, and then he ends up with this weird being that takes him in the ground. And he says aliens down there. Now, the weird part about these two events is that both of the people look oddly similar and they talk about their forehead being big, friends.
And this is a real story?
Come for me, that's what they said, not me. So then I was like, well, where is Mammoth Cave at? Because that's somewhere over in the area. And sure enough, it's in Kentucky. Not only that, but there's a lot of it that has not been explored. Then I started thinking about when Admiral Byrd was telling us in his diary that there was an inner earth and it was something different about the Arctic Circle, where everything was green when he was flying into the inner earth and it wasn't ice and it wasn't cold. Well, come to find out, there is a thing called a temperature spike where the temperature actually goes up, friend. Not only that, y'all, hear me out. In the Arctic Circle, where there are shores and there's glaciers and things, there are tree branches like wood, driftwood, just drifting on up there, washing up on the beach. And people be trying to figure out, well, where did this tree come from? Because everything up here frozen. So then I was thinking, sure enough, people cannot live in inner earth and survive. Well, baby, I was wrong. This is an actual picture of a subterranean civilization that lived underground, friends. And not only did they live underground, y'all, they lived 280 feet underground. Their houses were 18 stories underground. Literally. I ain't even playing with y'all. So then I asked myself, well, how deep do a cave have to be for an entire civilization of people or beings, Tupac, whoever down there, to be living and we don't notice it? Very often. This is the deepest cave in the world. It's in Georgia. Not the state, but the country. In the Caucasus mountain range. This man is about 500 feet down in this cave. That's about right here where you see that red mark at, friends. Right up in here. Right up in here. But this cave goes 7,257 feet deep. Okay? And there's more. It's just unexplored. So there's all types of cubby holes and crevices and pockets where things could be hiding underground. Kind of like it. Y'all know, in the sewage, hiding, waiting to get you. Now keep in mind, friends, this is for y'all edutainment. If y'all want to go read that story, feel free to read it. I think it's a good read. And I hope I ain't got y'all up in too much of a tizzy. I'm going to call y'all back later on.
Now, this is very interesting. This is very interesting. I'm going to research and see if this book is still available. This book probably might be hard to find. Okay. And what she said is pretty amazing. But at the end, when she showed the cave that's 7,000 feet or whatever, the man went 500 feet. You know, if people were to live inside of the earth, you would have to think, well, how would you eat? What are you eating down there? How would you survive? In that movie, The Descent, they went blind and they evolved. They were animalistic, eating humans, eating animals, all raw like a bunch of animals. That's how humans had turned. But then you think about, they said that there's an ocean within the earth bigger than all of our oceans. So if there's an opening somewhere on the earth where people can live underground and they have access to that ocean that's underground, that more than likely has fish and all types of stuff, then you probably could live. But then you have to think about sunlight. How would you see inside of the earth unless they say, so I've heard people say there's another sun within our earth, to give sunlight and all that other stuff. Look, anything is possible. This is something. So let's look at the last video, some more information she's sharing with us.
Friends, do y'all want to hear a story time about how I done found out some stuff? Have y'all ever seen this document? No? Okay, good. I'm about to tell you what it is. It's in German, but I'm about to translate for you real quick. Y'all remember how that one time we was talking about Agatha and Admiral Byrd and how he flew into the inner earth and he saw these he got in there? Well, this is a step-by-step on how to get to Agatha from the South Pole. And this is from German forces, this man named Carl Unger, and he wrote directions. And this is the English version. In step 9, you can see he says, proceed to Agatha, full speed. And then it says further instructions in package number 3, only when arrived in Agatha to be opened. Oh, friends, but it's so much more. Hold on. So, friends, y'all know me when I was minding my business being nosy, I was trying to figure out how do we get there. And allegedly it's through cave systems. And one of those cave systems is the southernmost volcano that is active in Antarctica called Mount Erebus. Now the cave systems in Antarctica are clearly the most coldest places on Earth, so I said I definitely can't go through there. Mount Shasta, Mammoth Cave, and the pyramids of Giza are all places that they say could be entrances to Agatha, right? Now based on Admiral Byrd's account and this German soldier's account, baby, apparently people live down there in the middle of the earth. And allegedly it's beautiful. And you might ask yourself, how could one live down there with no sun and no water? Hold please, friends. Hold please. Now, friends, as I continue to mind my business and be nosy for us so we can find out what's going on, I see that they found oceans 400 miles beneath the Earth's surface. Not only that, friends, but they say it's enough water in those oceans to fill the Earth's surface oceans 3 times. Now y'all see that little water right there on the top that say ocean? That's our oceans. And when you go down to this transition zone right here, baby, that's the area that has those oceans that can fill our oceans 3 times over, okay? Scientists have also found that there are mountains in that same area, friends. Mountains as large as the Himalayas. 410 feet beneath the Earth's surface. Now, in the Admiral Byrd diary, he says that when he was flying over the Arctic Circle, he saw a mountain range, woolly mammoths, green rolling hills, all of that. And allegedly, this was all in the opening in the North Pole. Now, friends, I went and found this picture of the poles in 1968 from a NASA satellite. On the right is the South Pole, and on the left is the North Pole. Now, mind you, the German guy said they get to Agatha by caves in Antarctica. And Admiral Byrd said you get to Agartha by going into this void in the inner earth in the north. Y'all, then I seen this last video that kind of threw me. This video was from 1987 from the Russian space station Mir of the North Pole. What is that? Friends, what is that? What is it? This video was from 1987 from the Russian space station Mir of the North Pole. What is that? Friends, what is that? What is it? Agartha, is that you? So friends, y'all really gonna have to tell me what y'all think on this one. I hope I really ain't get y'all up in too much of a tizzy, and I'm gonna have to call y'all back later on. Bye.
Okay, so that is it for the video clips. Now let me give my opinion. Listen, tell me in the comment section, if you were a rich person, would you explore any of this that I just showed? If you had the money to hire a team of the top scientists to go down into the cave systems in this country and outside of this country, go to Antarctica to see if this is real, the best equipment, the best of everything, and this is going to cost some money, but you got it like that. Tell the truth in the comment section. Would you explore and see if this is real? With the chance you might pass away, the chance you might run into aliens and never come back home. Are you willing to do it? You and your team of scientists. I'm not going to lie to you. I would want to explore some of these things. I would want to explore some of this. I would be scared, but, or maybe I could pay a team of scientists to go. Like I stay up on the surface and I talk to them and everything, and they keep communicating with me. These have to be scientists. They sign up for it. Okay. I didn't force it. They wanted to go. I just paid for the mission to happen, and they stay in contact with me 24/7. I know what's going on, and we find out the truth. You know, I'm paying for the expedition to happen and everything, like stuff like off that movie, National Treasure. I think it's called National Treasure with, what's his name? Nicolas Cage. I think that was the movie, right? So we heard a lot. She also, the last video, the book I showed, check out and see if you can get that book. It might be hard to find. The document she showed. This is just so interesting, and I have no reason to not believe it can be possible. It's plenty of things on the surface where we live and down below. Just the fact, again, that there is an ocean bigger than all of our oceans, you know it's not empty. You know it's not empty. You know it's life forms in that ocean. And it could be things that's in our ocean, but that evolved differently from being down there and not on the surface. Look, remember Pangea? Remember the land before time. The land before time. I've always just loved hearing that. The land before time. That was a cartoon. It was called The Land Before Time. Before we started recording things, the world we don't know of, when humans didn't record nothing. You know, Pangea, when all the continents were one. People were walking. You could just walk to another place like it was nothing before the continents split apart. Okay? Who knows what they were doing? Of course, people were curious. That's us as humans. We are naturally curious. That's what we do. It's not hard to believe that 500,000 years ago, some human beings went down in a cave. Maybe they got trapped. Maybe they went too deep and couldn't get back up and evolved down there and saw the inner earth, waterfalls, species, different types of fish, vegetation down there, all of that stuff, and evolved even differently than us. There is no reason on earth for me not to believe something like that. There's no reason on earth I can't believe that an alien civilization didn't create their own secret society down deep within the earth. Maybe they'll come out one day, maybe they won't. You know, again, I had shared before, there are plenty of people who think that the UFOs don't come from outer space. They're coming from the civilizations within the earth. Other people say, oh, it's just interdimensional type of stuff. No one knows the whole truth. We have global warming that's going on, whether it's man-made or not. The fact remains, places that used to get snow doesn't see snow anymore. It's hot in places that was never hot. The glaciers are melting faster than what they thought. Animals passing out every year, being overheated, the wildfires happening. This is just a fact that this is happening, period. I don't know if this is a cycle that happens every 1,000-something years. I don't know. Is it because of the carbon emissions in the air that's caused by humans? What I do believe is that we're going to start seeing a lot of things washing up that we never saw before, you know, because of things melting, things drying up and everything like that. And I've heard the theory of, people have to understand the Bible is not the word of the world. In my opinion, there are other religions who believe in different things. If you believe in the Bible, yes, the Bible, there are people who will say, well, the Euphrates is going to dry up, and then you're going to see these demons or angels that's been chained up coming out of the ocean or the lake or the river or something. Well, global warming is happening and rivers and lakes are drying up. So my thing is, I don't fear all of that. Let it happen. We need to see if it's real. Humans need to see if it's real. You know, instead of, you know, you hear these stories passed down, but you never have any proof. You don't know if it's true or not. Well, we're gonna find out if it's true eventually, right? The earth is changing, and it's happened many times before. And that movie called The Day After Tomorrow, I really love that movie. It's true. This is a real thing. A mammoth was frozen instantly with food in its mouth. That wasn't made up. That really happened. What could cause the mammoth to freeze instantly while eating? I believe everything that happened in that movie happened. And no one knows what caused it to happen. I mean, thousands of years ago, we don't know of any known technology that we had as human beings where we could ruin the earth with carbon emissions and all this stuff. That there's no evidence of anything like that happening. But also there is a place, I don't know where it is, where they found the bones of humans just laid out, like a blast had happened and they evaporated instantly or something. Or I can't remember, because if they evaporated, I don't think their bones would still be left. But something happened where they think a nuclear bomb went off. That was thousands of years ago. People think that was an alien type of thing. Aliens who sent the nuclear bomb down. Then other people say, oh no, we had technology. Listen, when it comes to the pyramids, I don't even know if I believe humans really built that, to be honest with you. Where is the evidence? You mean to tell me humans might have had technology and all types of machinery and there's not one shred of leftover evidence that anyone can present? No, that don't make sense to me. That just doesn't make any sense. One man, even 100 men cannot lift one of those stones to build the pyramid, and the pyramid is perfectly aligned. I'm sorry, baby. I do believe 50% of me believes those were aliens who did that. Because where is the evidence? Where's the machinery to be able to lift that type of stone in the positions? It's just so much. It's so much hidden. You know, I've heard the theories. People think that the Smithsonian Museum is hiding stuff underground. Okay, I had shared that video of that woman who said the Vatican has the Vatican archives with things you cannot imagine, history, the books, so much you can't imagine that's down there. Will we ever get the truth? Will we ever, ever, ever get the truth? You know, with the Antarctic, look, the Arctic is melting. I just saw the news story a few weeks ago where they said a glacier, one of the biggest glaciers, is melting faster than what they thought, and that they believe the sea level is going to rise like 10 feet. So a lot of islands you love are going to be underwater. They already said Florida is going to be underwater. New York City is going to be underwater. There's a whole map that has been drawn of how people think the world is going to look because of the sea rise level. I fear that bacteria that has been dormant and frozen for thousands of years is going to get into the water system and cause a problem. You know, you also have to wonder about mutations. You know, are we mutating as humans and we don't even know it? You know, some people believe in evolution. Other people believe evolution is not true. I don't 100% believe in evolution, to be honest with you, human evolution. I somewhat do. After watching that movie, The Descent, recently again. But overall, I just, you know, to me, human beings are changing because human beings are mixing with other human beings. So you get different types of genes, you get different heights, you get different mixtures of between both of you and the other human being. But I don't know if I believe that a weather change is causing us to mutate. But you never know. You know, I mean, let me know in the comment sections. Do you believe that we are going to look completely different as humans 5,000 years from now, even 2,000 years from now? And what do you think would cause that beyond mixing races that can cause a different look amongst, you know, how people used to look? I'm talking something different where we don't even look fully human anymore. We have evolved into something new. Do you think we're mutating and we don't know? Do you think that the foods we're being given to eat is causing mutations we don't know about? Do you think a disaster can happen like in the movie I Am Legend with Will Smith? How people can come up with cures and all types of vaccines and things, and they don't know that they could destroy the human cells and we become and mutate into something else or something goes wrong. But overall, this was about the ocean. Do you believe that there are civilizations under the water? Do you think there is alien life, maybe even advanced humans living in Antarctica and beyond Antarctica? Why do you think they did this treaty? Do you think they were really trying to protect the Earth and, protect Antarctica? Or do you think they found something? Do you think they found something out there and they all came together, all those countries, and said, we cannot mess with Antarctica. We are not ready for this. We are not equipped for this. We have to stay away or study it from afar, but we can't. We might ruin humanity. There's something down there. Do you think that's why they put it in the movies, as they say, journey to the center of the earth? What do you think they found down there? How long do you think they've known about it? Do you think the Nazis really went into the inner earth? Because some people believe that they escaped down there. Do you think they have a treaty with them and are giving human beings to them for sinister reasons down in the inner earth? I've heard that too. What do you believe? Let us know in the comment section. Let us know what you believe. You know, when they show the Leviathan, well, we know that the earth allegedly was destroyed by fire before. And the next time is supposed to be by water. That's what some people say. We hear we're living in the last days and you're going to see all types of creatures and things you never thought you would see appearing on Earth. My thing is, do some of you want this to happen so you can see, oh my God, it really is true. Okay, now I can believe this because now I have the proof. It really is happening. It's really true. Are some of you scared for this to happen? Do you want it to happen? Do you believe it even exists? Do you believe the Leviathan, that dragon-looking creature, is in the deepest part of the water? Do you believe, as they say? Let me know. I will be reading your comments, okay? So if there are any suggestions, like if there's any other conspiracies and things you would like me to talk about, Look at the first comment that will be pinned, and you can leave the things that you would like me to possibly discuss. I don't care how crazy it sounds, okay? I don't care how crazy it sounds. Let me know. Let me know. It could be about aliens, UFOs, werewolves, vampires, ghosts, crazy stuff I've never even heard of. All types of stuff that is considered sci-fi or supernatural. Let me know, baby. Okay, so you all take care. And thank you so much. If you are new to my channel, well, even if you're not new, please get those likes up. But if you hit the bell for all notifications, okay, so you know when I'm live and when I upload, and check out my shorts. Thank you so much again. Bye. You all take care. Enjoy your day.